You are about to see the double top formation tutorial. One thing you will note when we show you what a double top looks like is it pretty much is a mirror image of the double bottom formation that we showed you in the previous video. If you got up on your laptop screen a formation of a double bottom and turned it upside down, that is exactly what a double top would look like. These are very common and powerful reversal patterns. If you want to trade the stock market, you must look out for patterns like this, especially if you own the shares, because they tell you when to sell. And we also have a very clever measuring technique in order to work out how low it should go before you should start thinking of buying the shares back. We have a lot to show you, so we want to quickly show you what the pattern actually looks like.
This is what the double top formation looks like. You have an uptrend. The market goes and puts in a high and then a low. The market then will go up and retest that high. It fails at the same level it did before, but it must close below this low point. Otherwise, you can have a pullback and end up going on to make higher highs. As soon as you close below that low, the transitional period between the uptrend and the new downtrend is complete. This chart is very similar to the one that we've just shown you. However, this represents a pullback from a previous high. The difference being that the low of the first pullback does not get violated, so you'd expect to make a higher high. That low tells you whether you've got a double top or a pullback from a previous high. This could well be just a consolidation sideways before the market continues on its original trend.
It's very common to get a pullback from a previous high in an up market. What you will normally find is the market will go up, hit a high point and back away. The market will then go up to that same high point and start to pull back. You must not assume that that's a double top formation until it's met the qualification criteria that we have just shown you. A lot of people would make the mistake in assuming that's going to be a double top, and then the market goes up, rallies and makes new highs. The reason why you get pullbacks from previous highs in a strong uptrend is, if you remember on our ebook buy and sell lines, we taught you two factors that determine the strength of trend lines. We've actually got one that we withheld for this video. It's quite a good tip as well. When the market goes up and hits a resistance line, the reaction of that determines the strength of this line. If you only get a small pullback, chances are on the next test you're going to take it out and make new highs. If you get quite a violent pullback, it makes this much more important, this line. So when the market goes back up, you're more likely to get a little bit of a sell-off at least, and that gives you your pullback. Another factor that determines the strength of double top formations is when they appear on weekly charts. So when you look at your stock market chart, you always have an option to look at the daily chart or the weekly chart. So each candle represents 1 week of trading. If you get a formation appear on that, it is much more important than one you'll see on a daily chart. Right now, we're going to show you a real double top formation on a stock market chart.
Here is an excellent example of a double top. This market rose quite quickly. It put in a high and had a violent pullback. It then put in the same high and pulled back, but it did not get below the low of the first pullback. Similar thing happened here in the market had two attempts at getting above a set price. It failed. On this instance, we did manage to violate the low of the first pullback. As soon as we get below that low and start closing below it, it completes the double top formation and a new downtrend would start. So the double top formation here is what ended the uptrend and started a new downtrend.
So that pretty much concludes the video aspect of the double top formation pattern. There's other bits of information we haven't been able to show you as yet, but we have put that information in our double top ebook. We have named and shamed a particular market where double top formations don't seem to work as well as they do in other markets. So if you do see one on this chart, we'd exercise caution if wishing to trade it. For those of you that have already downloaded our reversal patterns ebook, you would have seen in the double bottom section a way of looking at the formation and working out how high it should send the shares. The same principle applies with the double top formation, and in the double top ebook we have a real stock market chart of a double top, and you need to use this measuring technique in order to work out how low it should send the shares. You can check your answers against our audio answers. We also teach you a very important lesson on retracement. So if a market goes up and you miss your chance to buy, it hits and pulls back, there's a way of measuring that pullback to know when a safe place to buy is. For everyone else, please do visit our next tutorial, head and shoulders pattern.